Well, hello there, everybody. How are y'all doing on this here day? It's Friday, and I guess you can, capture a word, a good Friday. I hope all your Fridays are good. I mean, after all. But anyway, thank you for tuning in and welcome. Thank you, the moderators in the chat room. So good to see y'all. Purgatory, Trevor, Lori, Dave. I saw Deborah, Linda Espinoza, everybody in there, Loretta, and thank you. Thank you. I just want to speak favor over us all. Nothing missing, nothing broken, not a bad way, no matter how you look at it, to go through reality, whether it's this one, an alternative, or the next one. So today I have a person most of y'all know, but maybe the channel's grown and there's probably a good possibility that many are really not aware of who Nina is. You see her in the chat room often. She's been a part of this soul tribe from almost the beginning, so it goes way back. Time. Saw this movie, Nina, where the woman in the like she says, yeah, time is a son of a bitch. So anyway, welcome, Nina the Mystic. How are you doing, my dear? Good to see you.
I'm doing great. So how are you doing, Wayne? It's been a minute.
Yeah, it has been. I was looking back in time. It's well, it's no for my reality, it's speeding up
I
immensely.
know.
But it has been a while, and you know, one of the things that I remember, and it's been three, maybe years ago, where
Mhm.
we really brought out the power of the Antaḥkaraṇa,
Mhm.
and it really was one that I still have them here. In fact, still thing in a box that's, believe it or not, still hasn't been unpacked. The t-shirt and the merchandise that you sell, and by the way, I need to
Right.
put that in the description, so afterwards send it to me when I update this. I'll make sure it's in there.
Okay.
So how you been? And just to let everyone know, there, hey Lucky, how you doing? Good to see you, man. Lots of people in here. The doctor is in the house. It's in my head,
Yeah.
man. I see WKRP. I just don't care. So it was a good show. I mean,
Yeah.
the funniest show, there was two of them. Number one, where the station owner, when Johnny Fever was fired, they brought in this new DJ who was selling Coke on the side. And Mr. Carlson thought it was foot powder and puts this cocaine in his shoe thinking it's foot powder. Of course, he can't feel it. And the other one was when they did the turkey giveaway, when they actually were throwing live turkeys out of the helicopter, and Les Nessman, was
Oh,
giving a play.
Jesus.
You have to see it. Go. It's on probably on YouTube. Check it out. I love that show. But anyway, so
Yeah, it's
funny.
been a minute. I mean, a
Yeah.
lot of people here. I mean, I know a lot of people here, but there's a lot of new people, and a lot of people are looking at my background here, wondering, like, what the heck is that symbol you got back there? And a lot of people are afraid to ask, right? But they're kind of looking and they're wondering what the heck that's all about. And, I guess they missed the show that you did about 3 years ago where you talked about the Antaḥkaraṇa, and that's what really got me going. That was the beginning of the whole Antaḥkaraṇa craze, really, that I went with. And I'm the only one, I believe, that is selling Antaḥkaraṇa merch online. So, if you're interested, I will give you a link to that. But yeah, that symbol is very, very powerful.
It
And when you
is.
use it, during a meditation, um, it's amazing what that symbol can do, you know?
It's
Yeah.
old and it's ancient. And symbols play a huge role, I believe, when we go into the next life, whether you want to call it the afterlife or the next life. We all trust it is going to be some sort of life. I believe symbols play as a major role there as they do here, if not maybe more.
I think so too.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Instead of using words, sometimes all you need is a symbol. That's all you need.
true.
You know what I mean? So, Yeah, and it's so a lot of people are wondering, like, what is it exactly? And when you're looking at it, what I'm seeing is three sevens, going around. So if you spin around these three, and seven is a very important number in spirituality as well, and in our
Powerful.
human life, really. Everything is 7-year cycles, seven is very powerful. And so, yeah, if you visualize that as spinning around like in a wheel, and then you visualize that in each chakra, as it's spinning around in your chakra, loosening up any of that stagnant energy, all that trauma, like I say, your root chakra. It's where you're keeping all your trauma, all our childhood stuff is in there, your mommy and daddy issues, all that stuff is in there, right? And most of us don't work on it, honestly, and we're wondering why things aren't working for us, or why don't I feel good, and so by doing that, by loosening those chakras up, getting rid of that, stuck energy, all of a sudden you're going to feel so much better, lighter, like everything just is working out for you, and so I highly recommend doing that. Yeah.
In fact, I'm going to pull it up here because it is a deep meditation to, and there's many different adaptions to what can be adapted to the Antaḥkarana. Uh,
Mhm.
I love that word, and I left the description of what it means, and it's powerful in the fact that, well, if you look at different phases in human history, there have been adaptations put to this symbol, and it shows up more places than most people realize. And for me, it's the part that provides the stability between the spirit, the soul, and the body in this plane. And I see three doorways that you can enter into. Um, as you see the bottom left, then the more center right, and then the top left as well. And that's how I see it. It emits a enormous amount of energy, and I have found that energy really is going to be identified by how the vessel is receiving it. I mean, if you're a negative individual, it has what I call the boomerang effect. It can really smack you. On the other side, if you have that balance and that peace within, I love how you said the mommy and daddy issues. Um, there's a lot of people that have exhibits of issues today that you're right goes way back then. So anyway, it's powerful. I love it.
Yeah, I love this particular picture here because this is the one that I'll be looking at while I'm doing my meditation. And I actually have a free guided meditation on my YouTube, which I'm actually going to be premiering today at 3 o'clock Pacific time zone on my new channel just called Nina. So for those who don't know, my original Nina the Mystic channel got taken down along with all the other channels that went along with that account. So I've now got two new channels, one for the mystic stuff, which is Nina, and then one for all my truth seeking stuff, which is called Nina's Truth. So the good thing about what we did there, and I know you've done the same thing, we're on Odyssey and Rumble, which means that
Hmm.
all our stuff is being backed up. Every single show is on there. And so thank the goodness that I did that. So I have all my shows that I can download. And what I'm planning on doing is yeah, going and putting them back up on the two different channels, so splitting them up, so essentially splitting up Nina the Mystic into two different things, just because we get a little confusing, with the spiritual and then the truth. There's a two different audience, two different kind of things, and not everybody's into both. So yeah, so if you're interested in my free guided Antaḥkaraṇa meditation, I'm going to be putting that up onto the Nina channel. I'm going to give you the link here. I'll just put it in the live chat here. And I go through it. And the thing is that once you've watched it once or twice, you'll kind of memorize it. And then you don't need to be watching me anymore. You can just do it on your own. And then you can
Yeah.
do it as fast or quick and fast, however that you need it. So like once you've done it and your chakras are all good, you can do it probably in a few seconds. But in the beginning, it might take a while and take as much time as you need on each chakra. And you can kind of tell if it feels kind of stuck, just keep going with it until it feels more loose, and get that all. And you can also tell where your areas of concerns are then. So if it is your root chakra, like I said, going back to childhood and all of those traumas, there's so much that goes on there that we don't realize in adult life how much that's actually affecting us even today,
I think birth is actually the biggest one.
well, that's the beginning of it, right? Just
Well,
that old
it's
trauma,
probably the most traumatic. I mean, no matter what your
yeah.
childhood was like,
Hmm.
and many in
Yeah.
this community can identify with that. But as you were talking, no one, and even modern day psychology still doesn't deal with the original trauma
Mhm.
that I think affects and infects all of us. We come into this realm in such trauma that I don't know. I think that as I sense within my spirit, there is so much attached to that we don't broach the subject because it's that painful, that traumatic.
I know they're more aware of it that, we're not supposed to be splitting the mom and the baby up right away. You're not supposed to be cutting that cord right away, so they're starting to kind of do more natural stuff nowadays. But, back in our day, I mean, sometimes back in the day, they used to knock the mom out, so yeah. So luckily there's more awareness now. And hopefully that's going to be a lot better experience for the babies as they're coming out. There's not such trauma, getting slapped upside
But
the
you
butt.
think about it, and it's sad because
Yeah.
in the 40s, going into the 50s, doctors recommended pregnant women to smoke. They would actually write you a prescription for cigarettes.
Right.
And you think about that, and that was also during the time where prenatal alcohol poisoning was really not really known. And so you have all these American mothers, and I don't know about other countries, I can only speak about this one, that
Mhm.
were smoking and drinking during their pregnancy.
And you wonder why we're the way we are,
What?
right?
Yeah, you think about it, it
I
may
know.
not have impacted the first DNA generation,
Yeah,
but you pass that on, and that's just so weird. I mean,
I know.
yeah, you know, I
I
mean,
know. I
I still
remember that.
grow up and I remember
Yeah.
the I'd rather fight than switch.
I know. I remember going to the doctor's office and he had an ashtray, not just an ashtray, but overflowing with cigarette butts. It's like, like it's just so when you think of it, like how much we've changed just in our generation, like
Oh
just in our
yeah,
lifetime, how much things
yeah.
have changed, for the better. And
And
this
that I can say that is for the better. I mean, tobacco was always meant to be used spiritually. It's a powerful plant, and it was again, that's what humans do. We misuse these powerful substances and then look at the cause and effect.
I know it's almost like we got an Indian curse with the tobacco, right? We
They're
gave them
actually they say
you know.
Geronimo cursed us, the Americans,
Well, that's what
and
I'm wondering now. Like we gave them the blankets, well, maybe they gave us the tobacco and like, hey,
actually
have
Geronimo
that.
said that we would become enslaved to the green herb plant.
Oh, there you go. And we have.
Yeah.
Yes.
Everybody's stoned. I mean, it's just it's
Yeah.
amazing, and
Yeah.
uh, yeah.
Never
and
mind the
and
cigarettes,
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like
like the Indians, they used it as a sacred herb, like the
hmm
actual tobacco itself, I don't think is that bad. Like if you know, once in a while as a peace pipe, type of thing. But yeah, sitting there smoking a pack of smokes with
Well, my
chemicals in it.
grandfather, I got stung by a bee and he had a pouch of tobacco and would put the tobacco in and get it wet with his spittle and then put it on the bee sting and it drew out the poison.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, it's a very strong medicinal plant, but we don't know it as that. And so everyone has this perception. Again, something that has strong healing powers within itself is so abused by, you know,
Yeah.
the what we saw in the material world. I mean, think about it. I was in NASCAR, and that was back in the day where Winston was the primary sponsor. Yeah. So,
Players. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, they don't call it
yeah.
that anymore now.
No, they don't. No, they
I
don't.
know
But,
it's
you know,
it's kind of funny how sports events are promoting cigarettes and alcohol. Like you would think that that would be not the place to promote that. But yeah, no, unfortunately, the tobacco companies got in there, and
well,
and then they
alcohol is the
start
same thing though, hon. You
same
bring
thing.
up a good
I know.
point. It's
Yeah.
spirits.
Yes.
And people go, well, when I drink, I lose my inhibition.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're letting in spirits that you don't even realize anyway.
You're opening up the doorway for it to happen. It's not gonna happen to everybody, obviously, right? Some people are just seem stronger than others, but some, yeah, just a little bit of alcohol, boom, they're a completely different person. Like I remember my dad actually, he changed personality. As soon as he had a drink, that was it. Completely
Hmm.
changed. Like it was almost like he had a walk-in. It was a whole different spirit that's there now.
When I was
So
18 in Texas, they lowered the age to be able to drink alcohol and to work in a bar. Anyway, the gal that I knew at the time anyway, so we ran this bar and I had the happy hour shift and Karen had the later shift on it. But anyway, you had at that age, I could see very regularly what alcohol would do with certain individuals. And we had a number of the baseball players from the Houston Astros that would stop in. And it was just very strange because you're right. You could see the one personality walk in the door, and then you'd see the other walking out.
mm, yeah.
Hmm.
So yeah,
That's
be
what I'd be
careful.
saying. The doctor
Yeah,
says
it's just
Winston's tasted good like a cigarette should. Now
And
you
it's kind of
see,
funny with the whole lockdown that we just went through here. The two stores that were always open were the
huh?
liquor and the weed, right?
Hmm.
I never,
Yeah,
oh no, that's all good. You can go in there, you can stand 3 feet apart there. That no, that's all good. Or
yeah,
anything
yeah,
else.
yeah.
Oh
It's like
no.
it's one of
Yeah.
those things that it's the human experience. I try to move on with those subjects because it's still
Mhm.
crazy with the sensors, and
Yeah, yeah,
I think
yeah.
as you were saying, that's one of the reasons you're going to be, I think, more on Rumble. Is that right?
I'm gonna be exclusive on Rumble. However, you know how it goes. I got kind of started on YouTube. So that's kind of what I'm gonna do is have the YouTube channel to go with it, and we'll go live on both. But the first 20 minutes will be on, YouTube, and then we'll cut the feed on the YouTube and just do the Rumble. So make sure you're following me on Rumble, and as well as Milky Way Soul Tribe also has a new Rumble channel now, and both of us are going to be rumbling big time in the future coming up here now, and that way we can just speak our mind. We don't have to be on eggshells anymore, and we can be open because a lot of people don't even know what we're talking about when we do code. And so our message is kind of getting lost on some people. So yeah, we want to split it up. You'll have, my tarot and whatever on the Nina channel, and then we're gonna have, I call it truth, whatever you want to call it, is my truth. That's why I call it Nina's truth. It might not be your truth, but for me, my truth anyway, so that I can speak my mind and, and hopefully educate somebody or at least make somebody think, yeah, about what's going on. So it'll be politics, it'll be, current events, but it'll also be some more ancient history and stuff because I'm very interested in, where we come from, who's our sky daddy. We were going on the whole Anunnaki thing there, and we might start picking that up again, and so it'll be a lot of that stuff too. So, our truth are from, our origins and the truth about, who was here before, the whole Tataria thing, a lot of interesting things. It seems to me that most of our history is all a lie. So I want to know the truth behind it all. I want to know exactly what happened to us. And that's my mission, I feel, yeah.
But I like that. Get to be able to talk, your mission statement. I think, and it affects us all. I mean, it's
Mhm.
what we do here, and I know with Robert V and with Trina and with Jenny and yourself and others that, maybe like with Chloe, I love her unpackaging or unboxing, uh, with her crystals. And that's part of the diversity and the strength of a tribe, a community.
Mhm.
And yeah, and there's other platforms now. I think many people get so used to a platform, and so it's just all rote. And but it's like anything else. I, as an entrepreneur, many times when a door would close, and this was just my life experience. I've always found that there were others open, and if your message resonates with people, people are going to be drawn to it. And it's a matter of being able to get in front of enough people to generate the mass. And then it's if one person brought one friend in and that other friend, it becomes, that number that, yeah, grows.
Yeah, absolutely. Community is many different souls, right?
It
And with a
is.
lot of different experiences and all kinds of things. And that's what makes the world go around. It'll be kind of boring if we're all just the same, you know? So I welcome that. And as far as I'm concerned, like we got to understand where we come from in order to kind of understand what's going on right now and where we're going, to kind of prepare ourselves for a new world, whether we like it or not. It's happening right in front of our eyes. And so, yeah, try to be
It's
mentally as much, ready for what's coming here. So,
like two, two,
yeah.
two, two, two across. Well, it's one of the things that has always mystified me about our species is that we are a species that has amnesia. So you can't tell me that because you want to take a pagan ritual and call it a Good Friday, that this represents this new paradigm when the whole myth behind Good Friday is just that it's a myth. That could never even follow the story. People say 3 days that he was supposedly in hell, but hell didn't exist. It was hell. The thing that blows my mind is you look at this thing in the Hebrew belief system, hell didn't exist like that.
Well, that's the thing. As far as the pagans are concerned,
Oh,
which
God.
basically we all are, there is no devil. There's no hell. There's none of that. That was all invented by the church,
Yeah,
as a form of
so they're imprinting a history, but here's my thing, and I've seen our channel, and there's so many other channels out there that say, "Well, I know the history," but listen, it's very much like the situation is like five people wake up and no one can remember anything,
Mhm.
not even your name. So what do? You create a history. Well, my name has been George. Now, my name may be really Alan. My point is that this amnesia is the big block. I mean, if you look at science, science can't even answer that question,
Mhm.
much less spirituality. But there has to be an answer. And that's why I have such a difficult time in the concept of God.
Mhm.
If Nina, I've talked in this past, it to me, it just the whole construct of God is limiting within itself because all we're done is that we've pushed over this question that we can't answer over into this entity that we don't really need an answer because it's always been there.
Yeah, well, I mean, even in the Bible, he says, plural in the gods, right? There's many gods. We're God, goddess, you know what I mean?
But
So
it's
the
a story, and I'm not buying the story. Hey,
yeah,
Cass, how you doing? Much love,
right.
dear.
I mean,
Uh,
we're going kind of by, the Anunnaki story, how we came here and all of that kind of stuff, right? But, obviously there's something else that's the creator. Now, what that is exactly, I don't know. But there's
I,
something that must have created it all. But it's not the Anunnaki. It's not, the God of the Bible,
I just
so
give thought of Thanksgiving to the one who gave me consciousness.
Right.
Consciousness is the only thing, Nina, I have found that
Mhm.
is in fact reality.
Yeah. Well, that's all we know for
Yeah.
sure.
And so there's
Uh,
where I give my Thanksgiving because I am a grateful person by nature. And what a gift. The older I get, the more I realize how precious these gifts really are.
Well, that's just it, like even you go through trials and struggles and all of that. It just chalks down to lessons that we're going to bring with us into the next realm. I'm assuming that's why we're here to gather up, lessons. And so, yeah, be grateful for those, even though, yeah, it wasn't so fun at the time. But when you can look back, would you rather just had a easy life and had no lessons, or you know what I mean, and then have to maybe repeat again, then, or maybe go through a few of them now so that maybe we won't have to maybe again. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's how
That,
I
that,
look
that
at it.
repeat thing that, you didn't learn your lesson.
Mhm.
The older I get, the more I move away from that because here's the thing. The whole problem with religion, politics, is that you have to give your allegiance to whatever that thought idea, let's say religion. So you stand up and you make a confession publicly. I take Jesus or I take whoever. And so once you're immersed into that, you have to accept what is being said is in fact true.
Mhm.
But I don't, like I said, I've done enough study, enough research and going, there's huge gaps here, huge gaps. And I really don't think that it's any longer, I don't think it's a God. I think it's something greater than that. All gods die.
Yeah,
I see
yeah,
you're
because they're
busy.
not the creator. Yeah,
Huh?
the
Yeah.
the God of the Bible or the Anunnaki, all of these things that we call gods, they're not the creator. Yeah, they have an expiry
Can't
date,
be. You know?
uh what the creator is, I don't know. To me, it's more like an energy. It's not a being like us. It's more like an energy. That's how I kind of see it, but I don't know for sure. We don't know for sure,
I
but
don't know. I
something
mean,
started,
I
you
don't
know
understand the concept of being saved. I was having discussion yesterday with the person and the whole idea of salvation. I said, so, and I was a preacher, you know, uh, and I said, explain to me then how you are, because he was still tied to the paradigm. I said, how does this salvation work? And the person says, well, Jesus is going to change you. He's going to give you a new name and he will take from you all those bad things and then you have just the good things and you'll build from there. And I said, well, that problem with that is you're no longer you. I mean, if you're going to take all the bad, who's defining what the bad is? So, yeah, the paradigms are they're endless. That's all I got to say. I love it, and I tell you, Nina, I don't have the answers, but I love the journey, the adventure. You know,
well, that's what it's all about. It's like truth seeker. That's
yeah,
what we are. Seeking the
yeah,
truth. We're trying to figure out where we come from, where we're going, and why we're here. That's essentially what it's all about, isn't it? And
yeah.
that's what channels are about. It's being able to express ourselves and put it out there so that hopefully others will make them think, and or do their own research, obviously, because we don't have all the answers. We're seeking as well. But yeah,
Everything
I
we
mean,
read is what some other human wrote.
that's right. Exactly. And we
That's
know
like,
now that, history's been changed. That whole 2000, I think they tacked on 1,000 years. That's another, on Tartaria. Start looking down all these rabbit holes, and the only books we have are the ones that they allowed us. They burnt most of them.
a
So
lot of them been destroyed. Yeah,
yeah, and the
yeah.
Bible, never mind, the Bible's been translated and changed around so many times. We don't even know,
I
what's
tried to
what.
tell someone that, and and I was there at one time. The indoctrination is so strong. Well, no, no, this is the absolute infallible. infallible, ineffable word of God.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
said by who? I said, the problem is if that's true, then your whole religion is about channeling because ain't no God been, hey, Nina, how are you doing? It's like, okay,
Yeah.
fine.
Well, it was 300 years after the fact somebody channeled.
Yeah.
It
And,
wasn't
and,
even
and
at
I
the
always love
time.
it in
Like,
first person,
right.
verbatim. And these were supposedly fishermen. How
Yeah.
the hell did they learn Greek, particularly the perfect Greek that no longer exists today?
Well, just the name Jesus is just a joke, right?
Like, where
But
the hell did that come? And then, you
Jesus,
know,
yeah, he wants to come all the way from Mexico. I don't know. Like,
I don't know. And because
oh,
again, we've been fed this construct of a Cecil B. DeMille movie of Charleston Heston coming out with God, and then that leads into the huge hit in the late 70s, The Footsteps of Jesus of Nazareth, and how it painted for people, it filled in the gap. Because before then, you're just kind of creating this thing in your head and you have no idea. But now I got a template in which I can build upon. And now it's real. Yeah, the Romans had a state execution. Well, there's no record of any state execution. None. And you know who had to give the final authority of that? Vespasian. And there ain't nothing in his records of any type of thing anyway.
well,
I
that's
have to
you
get
know
going here
that.
in a
Like,
couple of minutes, hon. We have an appointment at 1, but you
yeah,
see, got to get you back on because
yes, there's so much to talk about.
there's this more than what you can. So
Yeah,
I'm just reading some of the comments in there,
yeah.
but it's true. Grace says, so Jesus died on the cross to save us from evil. Evil from what or who? Evil didn't leave, still here. That failed. Yeah,
From the evil that they exist, that they made up.
yeah.
I mean, apparently God made evil, right? So, and then He's got to save us from it now. Now, why did you make it in the first place? Like, it's the whole thing is just,
Well, it's all
it's
inverted because evil is actually means to live.
right. So if you do yeah, I know.
Yeah. And
Yes,
my dog is my God.
there you go.
The son of a bitch will bite you if you want step on the tail. It's just like my God, it
That's some
was.
unconditional love. That's your dog. Your dog
Exactly.
doesn't judge you. He doesn't care, how much money
No,
you have, fat or skinny you are. He doesn't care,
not at
But that
all.
other dude, the other God, oh boy, if you don't toe the line, boy, you're
Mm-mm.
going to hell, So
Yeah. How do you get the angry, jealous, vengeful to, hey, baby, I love you, man. I'm your
but he
sugar
loves you
daddy.
though.
Come,
He
come,
loves you.
come,
Yeah,
come on.
I
Bring it
know.
on in here a little bit more.
Yeah. And speaking of Good Friday, why would you call it Good Friday? Because it wasn't so good for Jesus if Jesus was here. You know what I mean? Like that's ridiculous too.
Well, that's because, his death brought you life.
Right. So for
So
selfish
why
reasons,
does the
call it
Catholic
Good
Church
Friday.
say the
Yeah.
Luciferian prayer on
Hmm.
Black Friday Mass?
Right. Right.
You
Yeah.
got
I mean, if you want to look at evil or satanic or whatever you want to call it, just go to the Vatican. I mean, with all
woof,
their blood thing, blood this, blood that, saved by the blood, they're drinking the blood,
lot of
eating the blood.
blood.
I
The whole
mean,
thing with Abram, the whole blood.
oh, it's everything blood, blood. I know blood around the
So he
Passover is
creates the
all about
human
blood
body in
around the
perfect
doorpost. I
form
mean,
in his image, but then you're
oh,
going to go and circumcise it. What
yeah,
the hell are you
yeah.
talking about? I mean,
That's another thing,
it's like, all right, what? I mean, did you not figure that out at the first? What? Oh, I made a mistake. Damn it. I was going to, it's like, yeah,
Yeah. So now you wanted everybody to do it. So that's how that
exactly.
started. So that's another thing. Going back to the birth thing, that's another thing that we're not supposed to be doing that. That stuff is there for a reason, so there's just so many things now that I'm hoping that, the next generation here is going to be more aware of these things and don't follow into the stupidity that have been doing, so yeah.
Well, all I got to say is that Forrest Gump had it right. Stupid is as stupid does. Nina, I got to get ready. I have to take my wife off
Yeah.
to
Well, thank you
an
so much for
appointment.
having me on,
Oh,
Wayne.
sweetie,
And
we're going to
have
have you back on because this is this is good conversation because it's, again, there's a lot of pagans here. That's all I know. We're simple country folk,
I think
and
most of us are,
I
at
think
heart.
so.
That's
Yeah.
exactly, you observe the seasons and whatever, and
Paul,
so
Paul Joe says blood burgers for the burritos.
yeah. But going back to the Antaḥkaraṇa, you guys got to go and check it out. Google
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
And if you would like a free guided meditation, I'm premiering it again today on my new channel. I'll put it in the live chat, and then I'll go and put it into the other comments down below. I'll put all my links in there as well if you're watching this later. So you can go and subscribe to my channels, follow me on Rumble, and hopefully I'll see you in the live chat at 3 o'clock this afternoon.
Y'all go there and check that out.
Yeah.
We'll be on the road, but I will check it out. And I do watch you and Robert. You have a great show there on Sunday nights.
Yeah,
Um,
Robert has two or three other channels that we actually go live on quite a bit as well. The Stupid Talk Daily. We just went live there like a couple of days ago. So because he doesn't want to lose his channel either, So that's kind of why we're going to be moving over to Rumble instead of him ended up losing his channel. We might as well, just take a bull by the horn and move all that stuff over to Rumble so that we can be more open, not have to worry about it. And yeah, that's so
yeah,
join us up on the Rumble. We're both
yeah.
up on the Rumble. So
Are we
yeah,
ready to rumble? There
we're
we
all ready to
go.
rumble, baby. Yeah.
Grace, thank you. Lost in Space, F Kitty, good. So good to see y'all. Mushkins, good to see you. See you back on Monday. I won't be doing a show on Tuesday because I'll be working as a poll worker.
Hmm.
So we have an election here, and it's, you know, they don't teach civics anymore, Nina,
No?
which is a shame. All right, sweetie, thank you. I'll have you back on for sure. Thank you, everyone in the chat room. Have yourselves a great weekend. Yes, we are prospering and we are the Soul Tribe. And we'll see each other on Monday. Make sure to check out Gina later on the day at 3 p.m. That's West Coast time, right?
That is West Coast. So yeah, that'll be
Okay.
6 Eastern, I guess.
There you
Yeah.
go. There you go.
I'll put it
So,
in there.
have your
Set to notify
martini.
me and subscribe and all that good stuff. And we'll see you guys soon.
But that's how it works, folks. So, all right, folks. Much love, everyone. Until